Peter Stoner states in his book, Science Speaks, that if there were only 8 prophecies in the entire Christian Bible, there would be a 1 in 100 quadrillion chance that any one man could fulfill all 8 prophecies. He then illustrates how large this number is by suggesting you picture the entire state of Texas, covered 2 feet deep in silver dollars. Now paint one of the coins red and mix it into the pile. Then blindfold a man and set him anywhere in the state you want. Afterward, tell the man he can travel anywhere in Texas for as long as it takes. His task is that he can only pick up 1 coin, and it must be the red one he picks up. He must be 100% accurate on the very first try. It would be far easier for him to do that than it would be for 8 prophecies to be fulfilled in 1 man. That's how amazing Christian prophecy is. Certainly the same odds must apply to Antichrist. In this video, we will push the envelope just a little further. We'll look at 11 prophecies of Antichrist to see if there is only one entity on earth that matches all 11. Doing so will hopefully erase all doubt. Prophecy number 1. Revelation 17:3 says, I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Since the Bible defines its own prophetic symbols, what does it say about a woman, and what does it say about a beast? In Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2, it says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So woman is a church in prophecy. What is a beast in prophecy? Daniel chapter 7, verse 17 says, These great beasts, which are 4 kings. Prophecy says the woman, which we just found is a church, will join a beast, which is actually a nation. Where on earth do you see a church and a nation joined together as one political entity today? Daniel 7:23 also stated that doing so would make it utterly unique than any other nation before or after it. This fulfillment can only be seen in the nation called Vatican City. Furthermore, Vatican City is also the Roman Catholic Church simultaneously. Prophecy number 2. Revelation 17:3 says, I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast having 7 heads. John the Apostle declares the beast, which of course is the nation this woman or church is sitting on, has 7 heads. What do these 7 heads represent in prophecy? During this vision, the angel actually explains what those 7 heads mean in reality. Later on, in verse 9 of the exact same book, he tells John, the 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Mountain is also defined as hill in the Strong's Concordance number 3735. The Roman Catholic Church admits in the Catholic Encyclopedia on page 529, it is within the city of Rome, called the City on 7 Hills, that the entire area of Vatican State proper is now confined. Prophecy number 3. Revelation 13, verses 17 and 18 says, The name of the beast, or the number of his name, is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The prophecy states there will be a man at the head of this church and state entity that will have a name with a numeric value on it. That value will be 666. Truth is, the Vatican government must always have a pope stand as the leader. When a pope dies, a new pope is elected immediately to stand in the same position as the previous pope. He carries his office, his title, and his name beyond the grave. All popes have the exact same title in the office of pope. What is the name they must carry together? The letters inscribed in the pope's mitre are these: Vicarius Filii Dei, which is the Latin for Vicar of the Son of God. Catholics hold that the Church, which is a visible society, must have a visible head. Christ, before his ascension into heaven, appointed St. Peter to act as his representative. Hence, to the Bishop of Rome, as head of the Church, was given the title Vicar of Christ. Interesting thing about the Latin language is that it is both their Roman alphabet as well as their Roman numeral system collectively. So all one needs to do is spell the name Vicarius Filii Dei and then add it up, as you see on the screen before you. It equals 666. There are actually over a dozen titles to the office of Pope. Each equals 666 individually. Prophecy number 4. I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Revelation 13, verse 1. Prophecy states, this beast on 7 hills will be a blasphemous beast. How does the Bible define blasphemy? There are actually 2 definitions. The first one is when a man claims to be God himself. For it is written in John chapter 10, verse 33, the Jews answered him, speaking to Jesus, of course, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God. Definition number 2 is when a man claims ability to forgive sins. In Luke 5:21, they are again speaking about Jesus when they say, who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone? As you recall, the first definition for blasphemy is when a man claims to be God himself. Does the Pope claim to be a God on earth? The Roman Pontiff judges all men, but is judged by no one. We declare, assert, define, and pronounce to be subject to the Roman Pontiff as to every human creature necessary for salvation. That which was spoken of Christ, thou hast subdued all things under his feet, may well seem verified in me. I have the authority of the King of Kings, I am all in all and above all, so that God himself and I, the vicar of God, have but one consistory, and I am able to do all that God can do. The Pope and God are the same, so he has all power in heaven and earth. The Pope is not only the representative of Jesus Christ, he is Jesus Christ himself, hidden under the veil of flesh. If you recall, the second definition of blasphemy was for a man to claim to have the power to forgive the sins of men. Does the Pope claim the ability to forgive men's sin? This judicial authority will even include the power to forgive sin. And God himself is obliged to abide by the judgment of his priest, and either not to pardon or to, according as they refuse to give absolution, providing the penitent is capable of it. Prophecy number 5, 6, and 7 are found in Revelation 17:8, where it says, behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Prophecy declares here that this beast will be in power at one time, and then it will be inactive, and then it will come back to power. In other words, it'll be a beast that was in power, is not in power, and yet is back in power. Does history confirm these 3 events took place with the Vatican? The Vatican became a church and state power when Vigilus ascended the papal chair under the military protection of Belisarius in the year 538 AD. The Vatican lost its church and state power when Napoleon sent in General Berthier in 1798 and abolished the papal government and established a secular one. Then on July 7, 1929, we read, this morning there was another sovereign independent state in the world. Premier Mussolini and Cardinal Gaspari signed the sovereign independent state of Vatican City into existence. The Vatican regained its church and state power. The prophecy was fulfilled. The Vatican was a power from 538 AD to 1798 AD. It was not a power from 1798 to 1929. Then as of July of 1929, we see it is a power once again. Prophecy number 8. Revelation 13 verses 5 and 7. State power was given unto him to continue 42 months to make war with the saints. In prophecy, a day equals a year. A biblical month equals 30 days. This means 42 months equals 1,260 years in prophecy. On March 12, 2000, Pope John Paul II admitted in a globally publicized mea culpa that the Vatican did in fact kill millions of people between the years 538 AD to 1798 AD. Now just do the math. 1798 minus 538 equals 1,260 years that Rome was allowed to make war with the saints for teaching faith contrary to the teaching of the Church of Rome. history records the martyrdom of more than 100 million people. Prophecy number 9. He, the beast, shall think to change times and laws. Daniel 7:25. Daniel says the Vatican will think to have the authority to change times and laws. Do they actually think this? The Pope has the power to change times, to abrogate or change laws. The Pope is of great authority and power that he can modify, explain, or interpret even divine laws. The Bible says, "Remember that thou keep holy the Sabbath day." The Catholic Church says, "No, by my divine power I abolish the Sabbath day and command you to keep the first day of the week." And lo, the entire civilized world bows down in reverent obedience to the command of the Holy Catholic Church. Sunday is a Catholic institution, and its claim to observance can be defended only on Catholic principles. From beginning to end of Scripture, there is not a single passage that warrants the transfer of weekly public worship from the last day of the week to the first. Prophecy number 10. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, in Revelation 17:5. We learned earlier that a woman equals a church in prophecy. A harlot is indeed a woman, but an impure one because she commits spiritual adultery against Jesus, her bridegroom. Do all churches of the world commit adultery by doing as Mother Rome instructs them to? Rome declares, had she not such power, she could not have done that which all modern religionists agree with her. She could not have substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the seventh day of the week, a change of which there is no scriptural authority. The Pope was recognized as the overall authority in the Christian world by an Anglican and Roman Catholic commission yesterday, which described him as a gift to be received by all churches. If a new united Christian church was created, it would be the Bishop of Rome who would exercise a universal primacy. The United Religions Initiative was signed on June 26, 2000. At the signing of that document, the Pope became the global moral authority to all Christian denominations on earth. The Vatican is now controlling the one world church that your church denomination actually has membership in. Prophecy 11. Revelation 17:12 says, 10 kings receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Prophecy predicts here that just before the end, the Roman Catholic Vatican will generate a global rule structure by separating the world into 10 kingdoms. Have they done this? It has been reported that the club had its beginnings in April of 1968 when leaders from 10 different countries gathered in Rome. The organization claims to have the solutions for world peace and prosperity. The Club of Rome has been charged with the task of overseeing the regionalization and unification of the entire world. The club's findings and recommendations are published from time to time in special, highly confidential reports which are sent to the power elite to be implemented. On September 17th of 1973, the club released one such report, entitled Regionalized and Adaptive Model of the Global World System. The document reveals that the club has divided the world into 10 political, economic regions, which it referred to as kingdoms. As of the last known meeting of the Club of Rome, the planet has been quietly divided into 10 separate kingdoms.